Hello and thanks for checking out TheChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hello everyone, checking in on Canadian MJs. So the bulls are still trying to pull off a bull flag, and they still can as far as I'm concerned. Right now we have the lower wicks the past couple days. We saw the first lower wick with an attempt at bullish reversal candlesticks. We're looking at MJ right now, the sector ETF. So 2 days ago we gave an attempt by the bulls. There was no follow through, and now today we have another attempt by the bulls. Couple things I'm watching for: lower highs. 4 days in a row lower highs. The bulls need to break the high of today tomorrow to see this follow through. 33.40 is that resistance, and then we're looking up at 34.24 as the top of that last bull move. So that's the key resistance that the bulls want to break to get this follow through from the lower wick. And I'm just going to change the color here of this line, but we're looking at support. The low of this potential bull flag at this point is 32.75. So checking out the 4-hour time frame, we can see that there's a lot of choppy action just in terms of the wicks and back and forth, and we had tightening ranges, and we still do. These upper wicks are the low of the high each day that I just pointed out. So the bulls have to break that lower high pattern in order to be confident that we're going to be looking for continuation. And there's our must-hold short-term level for the bulls to remain in control. And you could definitely draw a channel. Let's go back to the 4-hour. And not really good on that one. Let's see if we can draw it here on the hourly, where we would zoom out. And it's a pretty contained channel. Normally I draw using the real bodies and not the wicks of the candlesticks. But it's a bit of an expanding channel. And again, I don't usually use trend lines too much these days, but just something to visually be keeping an eye on as to what we're watching. And the bulls are going to have to break the lower high pattern. But in a scenario like this, because the lower or the upper wicks are so significant, I would almost just use those wicks where I would normally use real bodies, and then you get more of the potential bull flag pattern. And if I'm using wicks, I want to remain consistent and use wicks on the downside as well on the support level. And so just zooming out, there's our bull move, and here's our flag pattern, and we're looking to see if we can get that follow through. So tomorrow is an important day. We need to confirm the reversal candlestick and look for some extension. There's individual names that are stronger than others now, and WEED is one of the stronger names with a very solid bullish reversal candlestick today. And the bulls really turned it around after a weak start because we dropped down to lower lows on the daily time frame. There's our new support. The bulls really want to hold 30.10 from here, and that psychological 10 support, previous resistance that was the big bull break signal, now acting as support, that played out perfectly, and the bulls couldn't be happier with the bounce and how it has played out. So we have already broken the lower high pattern, and the next resistances that we're looking at are 33.64, and then the top of the move, 34.55. Close at the high of the day suggests the potential of a gap up open, but if we do see a gap up open, look at the hourly time frame. Hourly time frame is not consolidated. This move is coming straight from the low. Granted, it's on increasing bull volume, which is a great sign, exactly what those bulls want to see. But we need a higher low and a higher high to be sure that we are getting that follow through. So if we do get a gap up open, this hourly time frame is going to get pretty extended to the upside, and I would be looking for some healthy hourly consolidation to take place tomorrow later morning or perhaps early afternoon. So just being aware that we have seen 6 green hours in a row with no consolidation is definitely important and worth making a note of. So I'm personally not in any positions. I've got a busy week. I've had appointments today and I've got a flight tomorrow. So I'm personally sitting it out to not overtrade, but a really nice entry opportunity, and we have plenty of members holding and looking for more tomorrow. Checking in on ACB. Similar on the daily time frame, we have our low, but look at the low. It is a higher low, so that's not the key level to hold. It's down here at 11.10. We broke the lower high pattern, we followed through, and we're looking at a strong close with the resistance level up at 11.97 and 11.98. So we can call that $12 psychological resistance that the bulls need to break to see continuation. So it's a really nice setup here on the daily time frame so far, again, because the consolidation that we saw is exactly what we were looking for. And if you are reviewing and learning technical analysis, I highly suggest going back and watching the last 2 videos, because on the daily time frame, ever since we got the breakout and the healthy consolidation anticipated, we were looking for a higher low to form, and it's been exactly what we're looking for on declining bear volume. Very strong consolidation so far, and now we're looking for this follow through. APH has continued to be the laggard of the sector. We have the higher low to be watching down here, and that's at 13.51, and another support down at 11.89. So 1189, 1351, and the key resistance that the bulls want to break is the top. If we break this level, we will finally break the daily lower high pattern, which still has not broken. 1532 and 1541, two resistances right near each other. Bulls still have a lot of work to do. There's no doubt about it. Right now where we stand, 1429, we still need to see another dollar plus of upside, which is a pretty significant move for these bulls to pull off. That's about a 8% move or so, 7% move. So overall, still weak. Bulls need to prove themselves and follow through. Everybody needs those bulls to follow through to prove themselves and to prove that very healthy consolidation, but APH more specifically because it is still in a daily downtrend where no one else is. Cron had a pullback today at the end of the day, an all-out dump. And right now what's going on, this is definitely a notable dump, but what's going on is we had Cron on the daily time frame leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else due to the NASDAQ and the NASDAQ uplisting. So that is where we are now catching up. We're seeing the other names strong, and we're still pulling back here because we ran so hard. Another factor is the potential that the overall market in the U.S. was down today. Not significantly, but that could be a reason for some selling of the U.S. ticker, which is going to affect the Canadian ticker. But right now, we are not confident that our higher low is set in any way, shape, or form because we closed down at the low of the day. So 1111 is support, 11 psychological is after that, and then we're looking down at, let's see, 1095 and 10 psychological. So we need a bullish reversal candlestick. And again, just like these other names, we were looking for a shift on the hourly time frame. We're going to need that here as well. And we very clearly have lower highs, lower high, and key support 1111. If we break it, it's just continuing the lower high, lower low pattern. So in the short term, Cron is the weakest name out of all of these names. But overall on the daily chart, bulls are still just fine overall. As long as we form a higher low above 860, bulls are in a strong uptrend, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. IMLFF, inside bar, not exactly if you are going to be going by the book, but I always say that, this isn't exact definitions. So when I see a pattern like this with an inside bar and then a candlestick that looks like an inside bar, but I go and investigate and say, oh, we did break to a... Actually, we didn't. So I take it back. It is an inside bar. When I looked earlier, I thought that we had broken bullish by a penny, but that must have been on the Canadian ticker. So in the U.S. ticker, it is still an inside bar. Even though the Canadian ticker, I think it broke by a penny to the upside, it's still an inside bar as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to treat it the same way. So support 120, resistance is 131. And of course, the Canadian numbers are going to be different, but this is the same thing. It's very healthy consolidation. The volume is completely dropping off. We're going to see a volume spike tomorrow and a break of this tight pattern over the past couple of days. And we'll look at the hourly time frame to show this tightening range, and a clear break is coming. Bulls ready for an hourly bull MAC decross as well. So bottom line, bulls have regained momentum. They have said we are done consolidating for now. They closed near the high of the day. The question is, what kind of follow through do we see tomorrow? What kind of volume do we see associated with that follow through? And can we form an hourly higher low and higher high? Because I will be way more convinced that we're going to see continuation on the daily time frame and break the top of the recent move if we get an hourly higher low and higher high. And again, check your individual names and their hourly charts because they do look a little bit different. We're not as extended on these other names as we are on WEED, which had such a strong move at the end of the day. So I appreciate you watching. We'll continue to check in throughout the week, and we'll see if these bulls can pull off another day in a row.